Welcome to the program. I'm State Representative Mike Tobash. One of the biggest and most important challenges facing the state legislature each year is the adoption of a budget. The process is expected to be especially difficult this year as the state faces a revenue shortfall of at least $4 billion. Let's spend 5 minutes talking about the subject with House Appropriations Chairman Bill Adolph.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well, thank you, and
Good.
Thanks for taking this time.
My pleasure.
You know, talking about the budget, over the last number of cycles, we've had difficulty passing a budget in a timely fashion. Can you tell me something about the motivation and your expectations for this year's budget?
Well, I can tell you right away, it's the goal of the corporate administration, it's the goal of the House Republicans and the Senate Republicans to have an absolute budget passed on time. We respect the state constitution. We do not want to inflict any type of fiscal pain put on our school districts, our organizations back home, our agencies that they went through for the last 8 years. The previous administration, Mike, just started too late, didn't get to work early enough on the budget, and a lot of times just being Ed Rendell, who Ed Rendell is, he liked the old crisis situation. He always, threatened to furlough people if we didn't sign the budget, and he liked to create a crisis in order to get what he wanted. And a lot of times, 2 years ago, we went late into December, which didn't help anyone. But we trimmed by holding out. We trimmed $1 billion off his spending plan. Last year, it was the earliest we ever passed a budget under the Rendell administration, and that was 4th of July weekend. So you will be home with your family on 4th of July this weekend, Mike. I can guarantee you that.
Good. I appreciate that, and I'm sure that the citizens of the Commonwealth appreciate it also. I mean, extending this period of time when the budget gets passed doesn't help anybody. It doesn't add any more dollars to the equation, and certainly it puts people's lives on hold, and I think it's has really been problematic. So I'm thrilled to hear about this.
Yes. Yeah, so we had private colleges, we had state universities, we had people borrowing money in order to make their payroll because we were not sending out the money. So nobody wins with a budget that's late.
Right. Talking about revenue sources, I mean, we had some federal stimulus money that was coming into the equation in the past, and that may be a shrinking revenue source. What's your feeling on that for this year's budget?
Well, it's definitely a shrinking source. It goes to zero as of June 30th. And we relied on about $3 billion of federal stimulus money this past year to balance a $28 billion budget. So we took in about $25 billion in state funds, $3 billion in federal funds, and spent $28. So we have a $3 billion structural deficit right there. And when you talked about the $4 billion, it comes from other liabilities that we may occur, such as repaying the M-Care fund, which the previous administration took to balance budget 2 years ago. So that's how it could get up to $4 billion. So we have a problem, but I'm convinced that the people of Pennsylvania elected us to live within our means. The good news is the last 4 months, the revenue's coming in better than what was projected, and that didn't happen for almost 2.5 years previously. So the economy is recovering, coming out of the recession slowly, and if we continue this trend through June, with some of our bigger months, coming up, like March and April, we should have possibly a surplus as far as operating is concerned this year, and that's a good thing.
Okay, and that's a very good thing. We're in a cycle where we've got to tighten our belts, and at the same time we have to be optimistic about our future. And it's good to hear that revenue expectations are running a little bit ahead of what we thought they might be.
Yeah.
So
we're still at 2006 figures as far as the type of revenue that we're bringing in. And that was a very, very serious recession that we were in. And it's not just Pennsylvania, Mike. It was across the nation. And we're better off than most states, but we have to take care of business, and we're not going to increase revenue by raising taxes in this year's budget. So your folks back home can be sure that they're going to get a budget on time, and there will be no new taxes in it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking this time, Chairman. If you have comments or questions about this or any other legislative topic, my contact information will be on the screen in a few seconds. Again, I'm State Representative Mike Tobash, and I thank you for watching.
Good.